instance, you can use mathematical formulas to solve
formulae
healthcare problems. And I'm not talking about buying drugs. I have no idea what I just said right now. So they will come for me. But of course, there is someone in the studio that does. Mr. Kilifidin Osanyikweju is a lecturer in the Department of Agricultural and Biosystem Engineering at the Bells University of Technology. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Nice meeting you, sir, and it's my pleasure being here, sir.
Sorry, did what I say make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
It made sense to you? Ah, and I'm not as stupid as I thought. Tell us about this thing, because what we understand is that, you know, there's something you call epidemiological models.
Yes, sir.
When we hear epidemiology, it's usually these people, NCDC. It's about epidemiology and all of those ones.
That's right. Professor...
yes, Chuku substitute anyway. So, but we understand that this Kilifidin's extermination and determinant of matrix is a new tool that helps to solve complex problems involving multiple variables to illustrate its significance. So, what does this mean?
What it actually means is that it's a model that has been a success, and I'm very glad that it has been a success. The model is actually used for solving a real-life problem, you understand, which involve us. And what brought about the model is basically the existing method they have been using in solving complex problem have some limitation, and that prompts me into going into this particular research. And after the discovery of that research, I discovered that it can be applied in various fields like education or agriculture. It can also be applied in for government policy making, and you can also use it in industry. With all this, I feel that it will go a long way in bettering the Nigeria and also improving the economic growth of Nigeria. Now, let me relate. Now, let's start with the aspect of agriculture. Now, as a farmer, we want to apply some fertilizer like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium into a particular crop. And at the end of
For example?
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
Now, after applying such those fertilizer, at the end of the day, you have your output. But if you don't know, after having those data, you may not really know which of these fertilizer that have actually contributed most to this yield. With the help of this particular model that have been developed, it can be able to analyze those data that you are obtaining from the field and able to tell us which particular fertilizer out of these three that actually contributed most. And if the farmer is able to get this information, it can help in able to project that, oh, if I apply this quantity of fertilizer, this will be the output I'm going to have at the end of the day. Not only that, even it will also be able to optimize his resources, and that is the resources allocation. Because let's say, for example, nitrogen is the most, the one that eventually contributes most to the yield of the crop yield. That indicates that he's going to put more of his resources into nitrogen. And let's say the potassium is the one that is having the least, based on the analysis using that chem model, it will be able to put less effort in applying that particular potassium in that particular soil. That is one advantage of this particular model. It helps in optimization and also resources allocation. And it also helps in preventing waste of resources. It will help in preventing waste of resources. That is one aspect on agriculture. Now, another aspect...
Sorry, sir.
Yes,
sorry.
sir.
That's the formula on the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
So you just call the formula KEDM?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's a short form of the full name.
Do you say KEDM or KEN?
KENDEM. I call it KENDEM method.
Okay.
KENDEM, okay.
Okay. Because each time I see mathematical formulas, I think of Pythagoras theorem and all those, and half base times height and all those. What's the simple, description of this one?
Now, the way it is that the first thing is to gather data. It's very important because the data help in making a decision, and having a correct data will help you in having a productive result at the end of the day. Like this particular one now, although I'm not saying from far, but I can have some scenario. Like for example, the NPK fertilizer I've talked about the other time. Let's say the farmer apply 5 kg of fertilizer, that is for the nitrogen, 2 kg of potassium, and 1 kg, or let's say 4 kg of the phosphorus. And at the end of the day, the output for that such combination give 50. If I want to generate a formula for that, since let's say the nitrogen is 5 kg, it will be 5 nitrogen, plus let's say the potassium is 2 kg, it will be 2 potassium, that is 2p, plus you now have it as the last one, which is calcium. I said nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Let's say that one is 2. They also have it as 2p. At the end of the day, you have, let's say the answer is 50. That is the output. It will be 50. That is you generate it as equation 1. Let's say for let's say for first week. For second week now, you change the combination, and at the end of the day, you are the number of fertilizer, the kg you apply for the nitrogen, you note it. For the phosphorus, you note it, and also for the potassium, you also note it. But you put the application, the quantity that you apply, that is what you are going to put in front of each of those fertilizer. And the output, which is the yield that you have at the end of the day, that will be your answer. That will be the second week. For the third week, you also do the same. But you now have another combination. Let's say, the first one, let's say nitrogen is 5. The second week, we have 2 as the nitrogen, that is 2N. And for the third week, we have, let's say, 6 nitrogen, that is 2 kg of nitrogen, that will be 6N. At the end of the day, we now generate a simultaneous equation. We call it simultaneous equation in mathematics. Now, what the model we now do is that all those applications they have applied in terms of a kg, you will now put it into a square.
So you kind of get an average or something?
Now, the purpose of getting that is that it will now be able to know that if I have 1 kg of nitrogen, what will be the contribution of that 1 kg of nitrogen to the output?
Okay.
If I have 1 kg of potassium, what will be the contribution to the output? And the other one too, if I have 1 kg of the phosphorus, what will be the output? Let's say after getting the result now, you now discover that, the contribution of 1 kg of nitrogen is, let's say 5 kg of the output. That is the weight of the crop. You now discover that let's say it's 5 kg, 7 kg, and we have, let's say 25 kg. That is the output contribution. You now discover that this one is having 25, while the other one is having 5, and this one is having 2. That means that if I apply more on
more yield,
that means I'm going to have more yield, and it will also help in increasing productivity, and even the farmer will feel so happy in going more into the business because they already know the focus area. You understand, which will help in food security and also help in productivity. But if you don't have this data, you are someone just using guessing. At the end of the day, you see that it's like a waste of effort. At the end of the day, now let's say you now put more effort in the one that you just having 2 kg. You are putting all your money into that one. At the end of the day, you are going to have a low yield and you'll be discouraged. Even at the end of the day, you are going to leave the farming because it's not giving an output.
Okay, this is how this application can be used in agric.
Yes, sir. Yes,
in what other sectors can it be used?
Yes, students can also use it in time planning, to plan time. What do I mean by that? Now, let's say, for example, we have a CA that we have to identify the inputs that result to that CA? What are the activities I need to do?
CA?
That is a continuous assessment.
Okay.
That is a test. After having, at the end of the term, we have over 30 in the report card. We also have over 70, which is the exam. The continuous assessment is for the let's say, what are the activities we have been doing from the beginning of the term to the end of the term. Now, what are the contributions? It may be in form of an assignment. It may be in form of a term paper, and at the end of the day, they will do a proper test that everybody will see it and they will separate. Let's say those are the contributions to the CA. Now, a particular student now puts more effort in the term paper. They're doing research, writing, full of, while another person puts effort in test. While another person may decide to put more effort in assignment doing. At the end of the day, now what we are going to do now is that, let's say at the end of the day, the student was able to know his scores in test, his scores in assignment, and his scores in term paper. Then we have those data. It may be for first term, second term, and third term. But in the report card, the teacher will just give you the overall score. But now, for we as the examiner, that we are examining students, after having those scores, even the assignment will be 100%. I can do the assignment 100%. I do my test 100%. I do the other one, the third one, the term paper 100%. But at the end of the day, I will now put more. There will not be some conversion. That at the end of the day, I will not convert that the test may be 35. As in, let's say the total score for the CA is 30. I can put the test for 20. Or let's say I put it as 20. I can put the term paper. I can just give over 5. That is, anything the student score cannot score more than 5 for the term paper. And then I can put the other one, which is the assignment. I can also put that one as a 5. While the retest is 20. Now, if a student eventually puts more effort in the other two, not putting effort on the test, and then automatically, no matter what the student is having, if you have 5 plus 5, that is 10.
I can get more than 10.
10. But what the model will now do is that if the student is able to get the data for the score you have in all this, let's say for the test you have 70, for the that will be 70 T for the test, and plus the other one, the assignment. Let's say the student have 30, it will be 30 A plus. The student have for the term paper. I can use P for my term paper to represent my term paper. Let's say that one is 65. That will be 65 P. Then the total score the student have at the end of the day, the student saw on the report card. Let's say that total score over 30. That one is, let's say the student was able to manage to score 24 over 30. That means the output will be 24. You understand? Then we now, for first term, second term, third term, the score can vary. They will be able to generate 3 equations for that. Now, what the model will now do is that it will now be looking at, if I have 1 mark in the test, what will be the contribution to that over 30? The contribution can just be 0.15. That means that if I have 2 marks, it will be times 2. That means I already have a particular mark, that is a times 2, that is 0.15 times 2 of the total mark. Then now, what the model will now do is that I have 1 mark in test, I have 1 mark in term paper, I have 1 mark in assignment. Now, at the end of the day, what will be, which one is contributing most to the over 30? Now, let's say after doing the calculation, let's say for 1 mark of test, I have 0.75. For 1 mark of assignment, I have 0.2. And for 1 mark for term paper, I have 0.6. Since the one that is having the highest contribution, that is 0.7, that means that I have to put in more effort in that in order for me to have a high mark when at the end of the over 30. Okay. Then what he is going to do is that I'm trying to analyze, to compare which one is more effective if I put in more effort in it. Which one will give me a desired output, is more result.
Yes.
So that's what the model is trying to analyze. And at the end of it, the students will now be able to know that if I want to read.
We're running out of time.
Yes, ma'am.
And you need to tell us how this will impact Nigeria and the world.
Yes.
Because this is a new thing, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So you have done something which will affect our lives.
Yes,
but how is it going to affect our lives?
Now, the way the impact of this particular model is that in all the field that is any field that is using data, it can be applicable.
Okay.
Now, if we are able to start using it, it will help us in forecasting. That, oh, this is what I'm going to have. If I are able to have this combination, this is what I'm going to have. It's also be able to that is optimization, and also time allocation. That means if I'm able to identify that, oh, this particular, if I put in more effort in this area, I'm going to have the highest output at the end of the day. I don't need to waste my time in putting my effort in the other area. And another one in the area of health sector, it can able to help in saving life. For example, when we have different varieties like medicine A, medicine B, and medicine C, a doctor apply it on a patient. At the end of the day, the doctor can be able to know that, oh, if I apply medicine A, the contribution is going to provide to the life of this person is going to get improved than applying medicine C. That means this doctor is going to put in more effort on that medicine A. That indicating that it's going to be able in saving life and bettering the life of people. And it also prevents waste of time. And for the businesswoman, the businesswoman can also apply this particular model to be able to know, after doing the analysis, we have the combination. Let's say we have a 3 meal, fish, meat, and turkey. You understand? And you have your price, and you are able to know that, oh, this for 1 kg of fish, this is the price. For 1 kg of turkey, you know the one that is expensive and the one that is cheaper. And even it's also help in providing pricing. You understand? And what do you mean by what do you mean of a price strategy? Let's say, for example, you already know that 1 kg of fish is 700. You will be able to know the price. You have to sell it that you will not go to loss. Unlike guessing, when you don't know the actual price of 1 kg of those things. At the end of the day, you just waste time and you overcharge the customer. And when the customer see that the way it's expensive, we usually go to another somewhere else.
It's a lot, really, Mr. Sanyikweju. It's a lot because people are tired of data. Unfortunately, without data, they can't do anything. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
So perhaps one of the major challenges we have in this space now, you have about 60 seconds to address this, is getting or storing that data in the first place. Right?
Yes, getting data, that is gathering of the data.
Yes. How do you think that can be done to even identify? Because, I mean, just as you're saying now, students need to be able to allocate time, need to be able to allocate whatever to get better results. They don't even know that they have that kind of data or that they can even use that kind of data. Right? So how do you think they can be helped with this formula?
Now, data gathering help in decision making. And when you are able to have a reliable data, you are able to, and when you are giving, when an instance occurs, immediately you record that data. Because if you don't record it at that particular moment, at the end of the day, you forget it. You forget it. Yeah. And when that takes place, automatically the decision you are now going to make from any analysis, because that kind of data is not reliable. And when data is not reliable, at the end of the day, any decision you make, it will make your output, or any decision you make, it will make it to be inefficient, and it will not be productive, and it will also not bring about economic growth to the nation. Then you have to ensure that you keep data. We have a system that you can help in data keeping. Okay. Now with those data, if it's able to be kept accurately, it can help in optimization. Okay. It can help.
Where can people get access to this tool?
It's on internet.
Okay.
It's on internet. When you see the title of the name is being input on the internet, So
it will come up.
It will come up.
Okay, so this is okay. You have published it on this website.
Yes, sir.
The Journal of Science and Inclusive Development.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So it is available there for anyone.
Yes, and another thing, because that is one of the challenge with the innovation. One of it is that publicity, as in to be awareness, because when people are not aware, they will
which is part of
they will not be able to
use
it.
Yes.
And this can be either by incorporating it into school curriculum or university. The student will be able to have it at early age.
So the name of the formula is the Quilifidins
Extermination and Determinant of Matrix Method.
Quilifidins Extermination and Determinant of Matrix Method. KEDM method.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for your time this morning.
I really appreciate it.
Engineer Dr. Quilifidin Lekan Osonyipeju is a lecturer in the Department of Agricultural and Biosystem Engineering at Bells University of Technology. We appreciate your time today.
I really appreciate coming here.
Okay.
It's my pleasure.
So,
thank you.
Next, also, how do you call it? The home stretch.
Yes, it is the home stretch.
What? She smiles like
my favorite part of the program.
What's on the bill this, are we gonna talk about Quilifidin's method in one way or the other in this segment? I guess you have to wait to find out.